technical difficulties behind the scenes. But welcome to Montez at Midday. I'm your host, Dre Montez, and I also host a podcast called Who's to Blame. You can check out the latest episode. It's up on Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, Google Play, and also on our social media platforms. We have a page on Facebook, Who's to Blame, Instagram, Who's to Blame the Podcast, and Twitter at W2B Dre Montez. You can also follow us on YouTube under Dre Montez as well. But you know how we do. High fives, chest bump. Let's hug it out too, man. Hugs feel good. Maybe you think about when last time you had a hug. With all this social distancing right now, when the last time you had an actual hug? Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, I think hugs make us feel good. Let's get in here. There you go. That's from Dre to you. Speaking of from Dre to you, thank you guys so much for the birthday shout outs for my oldest daughter. Q in the building. So as I do for each one of my kids, I kind of take their birthday and celebrate it my damn self. So after, I guess, 2 months of looking, I finally found a day bar that gets me, I'm talking, they open up at 6 a.m. And yesterday, we went and celebrated my daughter's birthday. It was a good time had by all. So thank you. Thank you again for wishing her happy birthday. And we sang happy birthday to her. FaceTime, and she ate the cake with my grandbabies and my son. It was nice. Good birthday had by all. Carried it on today. Had birthday breakfast with my cousin Darren. Happy birthday to Darren. And his new truck. Trying to convince him to go mudding. So my pop, my cousin, and I went out to breakfast this morning. So other than that, hey, how's everybody doing? Of course, there's always something going on in the sports world. Considering what's going on in the political world, everybody needs a little break right now. So everybody get on a break right now. Smoke them if you got them. If you got them, smoke them. If not, we understand. Get your cocktail ready. If not, I understand. But get your cocktail ready. Now, this first little debate I want to get into here is something that has been bothering me for the fact that it keeps coming up. Why can't we just let it be? Let people just go out and deserve the accolades and the credit that they deserve. I don't recall hearing so much about this type of a who needs who more. Would you be where you're at without your mom and dad? Would you be better off living with your dad? Would you been better off with your mom? Nobody wants to hear all that. How are you now? You doing okay now? That's all that matters, right? Okay, you're doing good. But when it comes to sports, we can't let go of certain things. We can't take it for what it may be, whether Jordan the GOAT or not, whether it's LeBron James the king. There's always going to be a backlash, a debate, a rebuttal. Someone's going to prove their point here. What does GOAT mean to you? What does 6-0 mean to you? All that gets said around the water cooler or the barbershop when it comes to that conversation of GOAT and LeBron James. Well, there's another conversation brewing out here that's getting some feedback. It's getting some bite. It's getting some bark, whatever you want to call it. And it's the Bill Belichick, Tom Brady talk on who needs who more, considering what we saw, what happened, what we're seeing right now in New England and what we're seeing in Tampa Bay. Okay. Did we have this conversation when Bill Walsh was coaching? Did we have this conversation? Did we have this conversation when Dan Reeves left and Mike Shanahan got in there? What about with Don Shula and Dan Marino? When it comes to the quarterback doing their job well, why must we look at the coach as the architect of this offense? Why come they both can't be in it together? Cam Newton can't be Tom Brady. Nowhere in the hell. Tom Brady can't be Jameis Winston. They're their own individual quarterback who bring a unique skill to the position. One can do one better than the other. One has been in a system for so long, it's in his blood. But you go with all these coronavirus guys that are sitting out there, you're taking time off from the New England Football Patriots. You're going to have a little agitation in trying to get wins. So I can't put everything on Cam Newton, considering the weapons he has and does not have. You're still playing a quarterback position that's still Bill Belichick coaching that team, putting that team together to go out here and compete. You know, other side, you have this guy that came out of Michigan. We heard about his work ethic in practice, that being terrific, Tom, that man number 12, Tom Brady. We heard about his work ethic. So did Drew Bledsoe. But then Drew Bledsoe got hurt. And then your next thing you know, T12 was in the building. Each year getting better and better. He's not a Pro Bowl type guy. He wants them rings, and that's about it. That's all T12 is about, is the rings. He's been pretty methodical about that, of getting to the Super Bowl and winning in the Super Bowl. Just don't bring it up to any Falcons fans or around Matt Ryan. But on this Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, just because the Patriots are losing right now and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are winning right now it's coming out. Well, now I guess you can tell it was Tom that made Bill. Or you cannot put the exact same offensive confidence inside of Cam Newton as you did Tom Brady. That's the perfect point right there. They're different entities here. You thought the New England was going to come out with a winning record and Tampa Bay with a winning record? Oh, God, the conversation will go to a whole new level then. If they both had a winning record right now, if the New England Football Patriots and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers both had a winning record, we wouldn't know what to say. But this gives us room for error. There's room for improvement. There's that judgmental phase and stage we're in right now. Because no matter what, I don't care who you root for in football, you want to see Belichick go down. I get it. He's been on top way too long. You want to see Brady fail. I get it. But it's not up to us. Can another quarterback come in there and do a better job than Cam? Probably. You know how they make up statistics for Tom Brady? They can make up statistics for Cam Newton to make him seem like he's doing an okay job this year. They can make it seem that way, but just watching both of these teams play, clearly there's a difference. Clearly. There's shell shock still going on with Cam Newton. I don't care what nobody say. Maybe that hit that Von Miller put on him still is resonating with him, that he doesn't want to get hit like that again. T12 figured out after the third week, he don't want that offensive line to let him get hit like that ever again in life. So now here come the switcheroo. Here come the real coaching right now, so to speak. When your team is on a break of having one of the most disappointing seasons during your coaching era. Because after this, then come maybe Bill has outgrown this profession. Maybe his type of coaching skill is not needed in today's football. That's probably the next conversation that's going to come if the Patriots have another losing season like this. But hey, through draft and free agency and trades, I don't see that coming at all. And that is Bill Belichick. Yes, the same Bill Belichick who went on to the Cleveland Browns. That guy. But I changed my views about Bill Belichick about 10 years ago on the NFL Network. They played the Bill Belichick documentary. I even told some softball guys this. I've been hating on Bill for the wrong reason. The guy just wants to win. He's not out here for the other BS that goes along with being a football head coach. He is set in his ways. It's either this way. There is no other way than what I'm trying to tell you right here. If you don't believe me, check out that documentary and see how he handpicked that coaching staff in Cleveland. He was that particular about who he wanted as a coach. There was a reason why he has that coach. There's a reason why he turns on the fan at practice. There's a reason why he wets the football in practice. That's why the New England Football Patriots are always in a position to do things not the normal way that happens in a football game, because Bill Belichick prepares them for the unexpected. That's the best way to put it. He prepares you for the unexpected. That way, when the ball is wet in an actual game, you know how to handle it. We dealt with that in practice. You know what to do on a busted play, because I'm going to have the defense jump off sides on a reason. You keep continually going through the play and the motions. And right now, I just don't see that with Cam under Belichick. He still has a little bit of Cam in him. He's trying to do his own thing other than what the coach told you to do. That's the biggest misconception right there with this Bill Belichick and Tom Brady on who needs who. They both need each other. Tom Brady wouldn't be who he is if Drew Bledsoe wouldn't have got hurt. We don't know how long he would have been on the sideline holding the clipboard and watching the game with his hand folded, acting like he's second in a damn threesome. That look on his face. But just for the simple skill fact of this year alone, I can't say one is better than the other. because they both did a fine job together. Let me know what you think. You can type it in right here. I probably won't read it right away, but I would definitely give you a response on that. But in other quarterbacks, I don't recall all of this coming up. I mean, can Patrick Mahomes be the same guy without Andy Reid? Does Drew Brees need Sean Payton? Is it more Sean Payton or Drew Brees? Right now, they need to fix that locker room with the Saints because they got bigger problems to fry than worried about what's going on in that field. Get that locker room in order. There's high tensions in New Orleans. High tension. Fix that, Drew. You're the leader. Fix that. You're better than that, baby. You're better than that. You know, it's Sean McVay. We know what he's been doing, but what part is this put on Jared Goff? Does the quarterback and the head coach need that much satisfaction of what they did? Why we can't look at this and look at what we have done? Look at what we did together instead of, well, I could have done more if this here would have happened. You could have done a whole lot more if there was no such thing as an Eli Manning. The Brady killer right there, the Brady killer. All right. So along with that Bill and Brady situation, we've always heard what Tom doesn't have. When he had the no-name receivers became a household name. The no-name defense became household names. Sometimes when teams and announcers say they don't have anybody to stretch the field, we have a bunch of no-names. Before these guys become a household name, I wonder how they're feeling when they hear that shit. What you mean I'm nobody? Because I wasn't a first rounder or your top pick, don't mean I can't go out here and use my hand and feet and my football IQ and stretch this field and play this position the best way of my ability. I wonder do they have that thought process going on. There are a lot of teams in the NFL that have no-name receivers. And I wonder how those guys feel when they're hearing that type shit. Case in point, the Philadelphia Football Eagles. Carson Wentz may be dealing with something that none of us never, ever realized here. Playing in a crisis. When you don't have your receivers, when you don't have your offensive line, you don't have your right tackle, you're going with the backup. Both of your starting running backs are hurt. I mean, you're putting something together from chicken scratch. You have nothing in the cupboard, and you're hungry as hell. What we gonna eat, mama? That's what I feel Carson Wentz is doing with all of the injuries, but he's not the only one. There's been plenty of players throughout this league to play in a crisis. There have been baseball teams that play in a crisis. Think of Jacob DeGrom for the Mets. With an ERA like that, every time that man gets on the mound, the Mets will be losing games 1-0, 3-2. He's not getting no run support. But the very next day, the Mets will have a game and they'll win the game 12-1. What the fuck? Playing in a crisis. And it's a lot of that going on in the NFL because they're not household names. They're trying to become a household name. They're trying to stretch the field. They're trying to catch the ball. They're trying to get some shine on. But due to the fact that these quarterbacks are not having what they necessarily need to get the dub, we're hearing that a lot. This guy is playing in a crisis this year. Well, what the hell when you had all your weapons? What were you doing when everybody was healthy? What were we doing then? So I think each and every team plays in a crisis. Some get more notoriety than others, and others get shoved right up under the bus because your team hasn't done shit in years. We always think you're playing in a crisis. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys are playing in a crisis. Everybody's hurt. They're showing lack of effort on the sideline, on the field, in the locker room, film study. That's playing in a crisis. Now, if they can get a few W's out of this, that's trying to put something together more than a quality win. But playing in a crisis is something when you don't have everything you need to go out there and win and compete in the game of football. I see it done in the collegiate level, but I blame that on recruiting. When you're playing in a crisis in college, that's recruiting. I'm looking at the coaching and everybody that went out on these trips. Instead of focusing on what they aunt mama ass looked like, you should have been concentrating on these players and figure out, do you have what you need for your college football team? Right there. And that sums it all up for me right there. Speaking of summing it up, we have some decisions to be made here as grown people in the next few weeks as we're getting closer and closer to Christmas time. And you know what that means. PlayStation 5. Video games are on an uproar. I'm talking to the adults. You kids get back on Zoom and do your homework. Get back on Zoom, Hakeem. There you go. But for the adults that play video games, it's about to get crazy. Has anyone seen the graphics, not just in the TV commercial, at the actual store of the PlayStation 5? Have you seen this next gen? Have you seen what's about to come out? This is a whole new level. I've been playing video games since 1979. I've been hard in the paint. I've had every system that you can think of. I've had it. I think my parents bought me only one back in the days when they said, "Don't hook that up to my TV. That game ain't gonna break my damn TV and mess up the picture." Never happened, Dad, Mom. Never happened. Never messed up the TV. But then you get to that age to buy your own shit. Then you get to the age of trying to figure out which system is really for you. Now, there are a few out here that have every damn system still to this day. Right now, just PlayStation 4. But I've become really, really addicted to playing the game online with my friends, a couple of the Man Cave members, Mac and Jay. Due to coronavirus, we've been really, really getting down on the game, playing the NBA 2K Pro-Am. And yesterday, we found out how many games we have played in this program. Man Cave member Jay has played the game almost 800 times. I think he was at 782 games he has played. Mac was a little over 1,000, I do believe. I just started playing, so I like about 58 games because I've been playing a lot of MLB The Show and Madden. I haven't just focused in on NBA 2K. So we were playing the game until 4 o'clock this morning. And it had me thinking when we got off, like, what's it going to be like when we all three get the PS5? There are no kids involved in this. We're grown men in our 50s. And we play video games like children. It's going to be a business decision made. I mean, thank God I don't drive anymore, because if I had to consider car maintenance over a PS5, I already got to make some tough decisions on actually getting a PS5. I want this thing. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. I'm getting a PS5. We gotta sell some more advertising on the podcast. We gotta get out here and beat the ground. ABC, always be closing. I'm gonna get it in. I'm getting that PS5. I'm getting it. That's something I gotta do. I gotta pull this one off. But I'm gonna bust my ass and pulling this thing here off. But video games are on a whole new level now. I told you about the piece that I saw on CBS Sunday morning at the Trumpets play. Online chess. We've seen these e-games. Video games on a whole new level right now. Whole new level. You still must monitor what games your kids are playing. Please monitor them. Please do. And some of these adults need to be monitored too. But for the most part, since I've been back from Vegas, I've played a lot of video games since I've been back. A lot. I haven't been outside that much at all, but I've been getting it in, man. And this PS5 is about to really wreak havoc. I'm hoping to catch a bundle out there with the 75-inch and the PS5 and a controller and maybe 2 games. We can get a bundle like that going. That's what's up. I'm all about the bundle, all about those. Thanks again for tuning in to Montez at Midday. And thank you again for the birthday shout-outs to my oldest daughter. Q in the building. Q in the building. I'm going to tell one embarrassing story of my daughter being born 29 years ago in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, at the Pink Hospital in the Sky, Tripler Army Medical Center. There you go, baby. It was a Sunday night. we had just won the flag football championship for the Navy base. My man Reggie Miller was on the team. Shout out to Memphis. My man Herb Jones was on that team. Go Pittsburgh. And we won the championship that night. I'm back in my room, laying on my back because I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm beat. Buzzer go off. They tell me she's in the hospital. Uh-oh. So I go to the hospital in my football gear. I got my tights on, my midriff shirt. Let's go. Got my cleats on, and boom, we had the baby. It was an amazing day experience seeing childbirth come out of the canal? Hey, whoo, whoo, whoo. I had to have a minute in the elevator after I saw that. What the hell was that? That's childbirth? That didn't look like that video I saw in 8th grade. That was live. That was right there. Yeah. So that's how my daughter was born. Yay. I ain't tell you how she was made. That's how she came in the world. Right there. So get back to your day, get back to work, get outside, enjoy this weather. Don't forget to tell somebody hi today. Don't forget to lend somebody the helping hand. Don't forget to tell somebody about Who's to Blame, the podcast. Check out the latest episode. Check it out. Episode 442 is up. Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, Google Play. I think we're even on Spreaker now. So check us on out. We're grinding the dirt, getting it in. Don't forget to tune in Friday at Montez at midday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Hi, all good people. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Send more money, Mom. Got you. Who's to blame? Peace. Montez at midday.